Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today we start Unit 7 Ambedkar and Lochia on Caste. Baba Sahib Ambedkar 1891 to 1956 was a Dalit who assumed the role of social, political and spiritual leader, first for the Dalit and subsequently for the whole nation. He gave the country a democratic constitution. As a spiritual leader, he revived the legacy of Buddha. On the other hand, Ram Manohar Lohiya (1910 to 1967), a socialist by ideology, championed the cause of the disadvantaged of India, including minority and women. Ambedkar and Lohiya identified the caste system as degenerate in Indian society and wanted to annihilate it. That is why, towards the fag end of his life, Ambedkar was in touch with Lohiya, exchanging views through letters. In fact, both of them wanted to launch a political party with scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, women, and minorities as their base constituency. This unit consists of the views of Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar and Ram Manohar Lohiya on the caste system in Indian society. It starts with a brief introduction to Ambedkar's interpretation of the Hindu social order based on the Varna theory and goes on to explore his views of the genesis and spread of the caste system. The unit presents the views of Ambedkar on caste consciousness and its dysfunctional aspect. It also deals with the ideas of Ram Manohar Lohiya on the dysfunctional aspect of the caste system and his vision to annihilate it. Now let us move to B.R. Ambedkar on caste. Ambedkar drew attention to the rigidity of the caste system and its essential features. He argued that the principle of graded inequality as a fundamental principle is beyond controversy. The four classes are not only different but also unequal in status. One stands above the other. In the scheme of Manu, the Brahmin occupies the uppermost rank, followed by Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Below the Shudra is untouchable. This principle regulates many spheres of life. An officer distributing money and the other relief material to famine-stricken people, for example, would give a larger share to the person of a high birth than he would to a person of low birth. The Hindu social order does not recognize equal need, equal work, equal ability as the basis of the reward for labor. It favors the distribution of the good things of life among those who are reckoned as the highest in the social hierarchy. The second principle on which the Hindu social order is founded is that of the prescribed graded occupations that are inherited from father to son for each class. The third feature of the Hindu social order, according to the Ambedkar, is the confinement of interaction of people to their respective classes. In the Hindu social order, there is a restriction or interdining and intermarriages between people of different classes. According to Ambedkar, there is nothing strange or peculiar that the Hindu social order recognizes classes. There are classes everywhere and no society exists without them. Even a free social order will not be able to get rid of classes completely. A free social order, however, aims to prevent isolation and exclusiveness because both make the members of the class inimical towards one another. Now the point is interpretation of Varna theory. Ambedkar recognized the existence of four Varna in the Hindu social order. He emphasized that the Hindu social order is primarily based on class or Varna and not on individuals. He opined that the unit of Hindu society is not the individual Brahmins or the individual Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra or the untouchables. Even the family is not regarded in the Hindu social order as a unit of society except for the purposes of marriage and inheritance. The unit of Hindu society is a class or Varna. In the Hindu social order, there is no room for individual merit and no consideration of individual justice. If a person has a privilege, it is not because it is due to him or her as an individual. The privilege goes with the class, and if he or she is found to enjoy it, it is because he or she belongs to that class. Conversely, an individual suffers not because he or she deserves it by virtue of his or her conduct. Rather, it is because he or she belongs to that class. Ambedkar analyzed the impact of the division of the society into Varnas in the Hindu social order. He argued that because of this division, the Hindu social order has failed to uphold liberty, equality, and fertility, the three essentials of a free social order. The Hindu do believe that the God created different classes of people from different parts of his divine body. According to Ambedkar, the doctrine that the different classes were created from different parts of the divine body has generated the belief that it must be divine will that they should remain separate and distinct. It is this belief which has created in the Hindu an instinct to be different, to be separate, and to be distinct from the rest of his fellow Hindus. In the same vein, Ambedkar added the most extensive and wild manifestation of this spirit of isolation and separation is, of course, of the caste system. Originally, there were four only. Today, how many are there? It is estimated that total is not less than 2000. It must be 3000. Castes are divided into subcastes. Ambedkar asks, does the Hindu social order recognize equality? He says that while the Hindu social order accepts that the men have come from the body of the creator of the universe, it does not treat them as equal because they were created from the different parts of his body that are themselves graded in terms of perceived importance and location. Brahmins were created from the mouth, Kshatriya from the arms, Vaishya from the thighs, and the Shudras from the feet. Ambedkar agrees that it is a fact that the men are not equal in their character and natural endowments. He opined that the Hindu social order refuses to recognize that men, no matter how profoundly they differ as individuals in capacity and character, are equally entitled as human beings to consideration and respect, and that the well-being of a society is likely to be increased if it plans its organization that whether their powers are great or small, all its members may be equally enabled to make the best of such powers as they possess. It is for this reason that he feels that the Hindu social order is against the equalitarian temper and does not allow equality of circumstances, institutions, and lifestyle to develop. In the same context, Ambedkar upholds that there is absence of liberty, specifically liberty of action, in the Hindu social order because the occupation and status of the individuals are all fixed on the basis of their birth in the particular family. The same is true for political liberty too. The Hindu social order does not recognize the necessity of a representative government chosen by the people. According to him, though the Hindu social order does recognize that laws must govern the people, it negates the idea that the laws can be made by representatives chosen by the people. Ambedkar submits that the Hindu are of the opinion that the law by which people are to be governed already exists in the Veda and no human being is empowered to bring about a change in the existing law. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.